All right, everybody, as you can see, we've got Bob Martin versus Michael Cruz going here for the finals match here. Um, as you might remember, Michael Cruz is already queued for the 8-man Winogrand Cube Draft. So that means congratulations to Mr. Bob Martin. He's going to be the 7th entry into that event. So congratulations to him, and we look forward to checking on his progress as we move our way through that cube draft. There will likely be a decent time interval in between, so we ask that you guys keep an eye on the Facebook page and the Twitter page to get an update on when that will be coming live. It will also just go ahead and leave the stream up carrying the um, replays from earlier, so you guys can enjoy those and kind of relive that action a little bit. And we see that the finals are underway here with Bob Martin against Michael Cruz. Bob leading things off with a Rakdos Cackler. It does look as though Mike started things off with a Farseek for us and ramped his mana up. And Bob's going to have one of those degenerate Burning Tree Emissary draws. And Mike's going to slam an Olivia on turn 3, see if it gets there. Bob hopes to have a Searing Spear. Or maybe attack with everything, use my Gore Clan Rampager. Also sounds like a pretty good plan. That way you get to save your burn spell. He was able to grow his Flint Hoof Boar off that mountain, so this is an attack for 7. And with 2 damage already done and no blockers assigned, we can finish updating life totals here. We need to get Mike down to 11 life. So Bob's play last turn was a naked Burning Tree Emissary, and by that I mean that there was just nothing to do with that 2 mana that dropped. Not the most ideal play, but with Bob's current aggressive strategy, all he needs to do is just fill the board up with as many guys as possible. If that is a Hellrider in his hand, this could be the end of the game here on this turn. Looks like that's what he's counting. I think he's got one. 3 cards left for Bob. Well, no Hellrider. I think he might have played it before combat if he had it. And the Gore Clan Rampager. It's lethal here regardless of blockers. Pretty sure. There is the Rampager. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So not lethal because of the double block. Just going to drop Mr. Cruz down to 4. And Bob is just doing damage in bunches right now. Gaining 5 life is just about the only way for Mike to get any sort of traction here. That's exactly what he does with his Thragtusk. But the Hell Rider pushes lethal. So 4 damage straight out of the gate. Drops his opponent to 5. The most damage that Thragtusk can block is 3 from the Hell Rider, which leaves exactly 5. Unless there's a counter on the Stormclark Noble, but that only increases damage. And Bob Martin takes game 1. Now, we did mention, obviously, that Bob already won his way into that cube event, but that's not all they are playing for. They do get to draft their choice of whichever of the near mint Moxes they would prefer to use, or they would prefer to own, and there's a pretty decent price disparity between them at the moment. So last count from what I overheard out there, assuming it's true, I have no facts to support this whatsoever, but assuming it's true, then there's about a $200 difference there. Not too often you get to see a $200 match of Magic here. And to compare, that's roughly the same financial difference between top 8ing and top 16ing in a Grand Prix. Roughly. It's been a while since I was in those shoes. Congratulations to Brad Mendez, who won the 8th and final spot into the Winogrand Cube draft. So Brad's going to be the people's choice, the viewer's champion, if you will. So voting is officially closed on that. We definitely appreciate the participation. Always love to get the viewers and listeners involved wherever possible. That I don't have the ability to do. So John said to get him some messages going, and I think we're going to be doing that at the close of this, or at the absolute latest, the very open of the Cube Draft. Let's take a look at some of these sideboard selections these gentlemen may have made. I think Bob is very likely to be bringing in his Traitorous Bloods here. Also, Skullcracks seem pretty likely. His opponent has, if it was a junk Reanimator, I'd say he's probably bringing in Blasphemous Axe, but seeing as how his opponent is on 4-color, just to be able to play Boros Reckoner himself, that seems like a suboptimal plan. Oh, wow, interesting. I just noticed Bob only carries 2 copies of Hell Rider in his deck currently. I've been calling it like it's a 4 of, but I guess with the way we've seen his mana unfold for him, it's a very smart decision. I would love to see some more madcap skills action going on, though, with these red-green decks. I think that's awesome. Bob's going to mulligan to 6 here. Certainly looks like Mike is going to keep his 7. I know personally with Mike on the play and with the extra card after Bob's mulligan, I certainly like Mike to be the favorite in this game too. So we'll see exactly how it plays out for him. Not 100% sure on Mike's sideboard. I know I've had his deck list with me all day. Makes perfect sense that I can't find it now, of course. Looks like Bob's in the tank on a mulligan decision here. See how he comes out. And Bob's going to take a look at this 5-card hand here. Definitely not making his odds any more in my favor. He must be having kind of Vietnam flashbacks to his 1-land hand days earlier on in this tournament. That is the only round Bob lost so far today. Clearly there's something to this red-green aggro deck here, as we've seen many people be successful with it, and I'm surprised too because the Naya mid-range decks have started to like mainboard Unflinching Courage a little bit, and I really thought we'd see a lot more of those at the top tables today, but instead it's been these smaller, quicker, aggressive builds that have been able to get under what was actually quite a bit of control in the field today. So kind of a different metagame than was to be expected headed into the tournament, but an entertaining one nonetheless. And I got life totals at 20 to 16 here. And a Fire Fist Striker for Bob. Have to see exactly how this plays out here. Cruz is going to play a Faithless Looting, and I think this discard phase here on the looting will tell us a lot about how this game's going to go. Sacred Foundry, and I don't know if he got rid of a second card yet. Just double land, so not the Unburial Rites, Angel discard that he was really hoping for. But a handful of Huntmasters will do him a whole lot of good here, so hopefully he can start adding a board presence starting next turn if he wants to not fall too far behind Bob in this game. It's really been kind of the beauty of these red-green aggro decks from everything I've seen is that they are what they are. Swing with 2 power guys that just kind of swarm the board out early. Fire Fist Striker helps keep back some blockers. Madcap Skills serves as a form of evasion, and Burn clears the way, but they've really just done such a good job of getting ahead of their opponent very, very early, and from there it was kind of over. It became very, very difficult for them to really accomplish too much. We'll see a Volcanic Strength hit the Rakdos Cackler. I think I saw an Olivia Voldarin. But there's that Huntmaster. That was so important. I'm sorry, I'm losing life totals a little bit here. Feel free to wake me up. 20 to 14 is the life now. And Madcap Skills on top of. So that's 5, 6, 7 damage from Rakdos Cackler alone. That will drop Mr. Cruz down to 7. Olivia Farseek and another Huntmaster here for Mike. Looks pretty bad here. Blood Crypt providing unblockability to the 7 power Rakdos Cackler. Mike has one more turn to buy. If he plays that Huntmaster out, and then does nothing, passes the turn, double shoots Rakdos Cackler, but he would be stuck at 1. Got a note here that Bob took 2 damage. I just don't see where from. I do know Mike gains 2 and heads to 9. Double Stromkirk Noble there. Really curious to see exactly how this plays out. Sure seems like Bob's got the advantage here, but I'm not positive. I don't think Mike's ever lost on camera before, so I'm sure he doesn't really want to start now. He's going to flip both Huntmasters. Very excited to get the double equipped Rakdos Cackler off the table.
Call the judge thing. It's over right now.
Alright, well 18 to 2 are the life totals here. My apologies. Looks like we'll be drawing the winner of that Modern Masters box at the top of the Cube draft tonight. There will be a little break so the entrants can study the pool of cards that the Cube packs will be selected from. If you guys have ever done a Cube draft, you will enjoy this one, I can promise. Feel comfortable that the players will provide a fun experience for you guys watching at home with $1,000 up for grabs. There's plenty of incentive. As we see Mike kind of do a good job gaining some board presence back. He's taken a bunch of damage, so he's gotta have a board presence. He will be dead to any burn spell off the top of Mike Cruz's deck, or I'm sorry, anyone that's in his hand at instant speed anyways. There are two of them, two cards in Bob's hand, that is. If one of them's a Searing Spear, if one of them is a Skullcrack, he's going to take home the first place prize of his choice of Near Mint Unlimited Mox. The Huntmasters are getting ready to flip, and looks like that flip is going to resolve. So Mr. Cruz heads back up to 6 life and adds just a slew of defenders to the board. Oop, my apologies. One too many clicks there. And Bob just keeps adding the creatures he has to the board to make it more difficult for his opponent to attack. However, this game should be slipping away from him, as the Huntmasters will continue to flip back and forth at Mike's will. Mike decides on his attackers and says, looks like 4 damage in beast tokens. So, yep, 14 to 6, even though it's a little off screen there. Fun tip for the players at home: when you get on a board state like this and your Huntmasters are flipping back and forth, just leave them on a lot of their sleeves on the table. You potentially do a lot of damage to cards, leaving them up over and over again. Mike reminded me there. I don't follow my own advice either. Flip them around because it's fun and that's what they're supposed to do. See.
Do you remember what the hell was happening when it wouldn't add a winner? It says it can't pick.
We'll have to see if Bob's able to get any more board presence here to put the game away. So 10 of 10 are the life totals now. As this game just slips farther and farther out of Bob's reach. And Mike just keeps adding creature after creature to the board. Definitely looks like a game 3 headed our way, but a mull to 5 from Bob, and not being on the play for one hurt him quite a bit, but he will be on the play going into game 3 here, so still has high hopes to be able to take this thing down, get the most valuable of all the boxes. And Bob definitely drops game 2 here as we look towards game 3 between these two opponents. Bob definitely has a much higher percentage and is much more favored in a match or in a game where he plays first. But all depends on the amount of life gain Mike can dredge up from his graveyard there. Anybody have any thoughts as to who they think is going to take the third game here in the championship? Please feel free to start a conversation here in the chat. You guys have been a little quiet for a little while, even though the numbers are up. I hope that's just because the action is enthralling enough. You guys will want to make sure you find the GameCore Facebook pages and Twitter pages if you have not. If you enjoyed the stream, please feel free to favorite us here on Twitch, and that way you can get notified when we go live again. We will be obviously having Season 4 starting within the next few months. I'm not exactly sure if there's a firm start date for any of that yet, but all that news will be coming and coming fast. We also, do we have an update on when the full featured site hits?
Set? Yeah, they're building it right now. So it will be within...
Should be
It'll be like before August for sure. It should be sometime in July.
Okay, well, sometime next month. We don't have an exact date. Unfortunately, it's just not up to us. But we will be getting our full featured website launched in the month of July here. So plenty of exciting things will be going on at GameCore. If you like the dark market riddles and promotions that we were doing, we do hope to kind of bring that back as well. The website will give us a lot more tools to play with in order to make that more fun for you guys, and just make everything a more enjoyable experience here at GameCore and on our website at GameCoreOnline.com. So please feel free to go check it out. Bound to do some fun and exciting things with that, like maybe give away a coupon code during one of our live broadcasts, something along those lines, help you guys save a couple of bucks. Bob's going to drop down to 18 life here. I'll get their information reset. And the turn 1 Rakdos Cackler here for Bob is fixing to do a bunch of damage. Not quite sure how much. Bob might be able to Madcap Skills or Volcanic Strength this guy. Really make it a very fast clock. And speaking of which, here comes Volcanic Strength, and here comes Bob for 4. And a Legion Loyalist here for Bob. Don't know if he brought that in or... Nope, it was Joe Warren who was mainboarding them, so they did get brought in here for this matchup. It seems like a strong choice, actually, now that I'm thinking more and more about it, simply because the first strike and trample really allow you to do some quality attacking into a Thragtusk, which is difficult for that deck to do. I'm going to try to see if we can back the crowd watching the finals up just a little bit to reduce some of the... oh, well, it looks like it doesn't matter because Mr. Cruz has extended the hand and the match is over. There was even a traitorous blood here to accelerate things. Not that Mike was aware of it at the time of the concession, but volcanic strength on any guy against that 4-color Reanimator deck is very, very strong. So I want to thank you all very much for joining us here today as we gave away over $3,000 worth of prizes in this tournament today. I think everybody involved had a great time. I don't have an exact list for the cube